Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Once again, it is time for the WADcast Writers Actors Directors Podcast, brought to you by WADcast. I'm your host, Josh, joined as always by the guy with the hat, Brandon.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday nights.
It's
good to be here. Huh?
It actually means something to me again.
What, Friday night? Oh yeah, I know. That's right. You had to actually go back to work.
Back to school.
Yeah. You have fun with that. I don't do kids, so.
Neither do I.
I'm really not good with kids at all. I'd be a horrible anything when it comes to being a
horrible person.
I would be just terrible when it came to anything when it comes to the educational system with children. I'd be just bad. I was just telling you about a family member of mine dealing with a kid that I know dealing with bullying. I'm like, but yeah, I just that's got to be good though. You have a very, very fulfilling job where you get to sculpt and mold the minds of children's.
Yeah, not so much.
You do more than me, more than I ever would.
Well, I mean, I guess whether or not it's something that's actually signed up for in my profession, I guess it kind of happens, but it's not something that I think any of us set out to do. After all, it's not like we're educators in that sense.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's more than what I'd be able to do. I would be absolutely horrible with that kind of job. They hit me. Well, hit them back. I'd be bad.
The leg. No
yeah, sweep the leg. Yeah, sweep the leg. Does mercy exist inside of you? No, Brandon. Okay. My boyfriend. You're 12. Huh?
Well, I mean.
No. Well, real quick. We did have a. I just want to say this for the show. We did have a plan tonight to have someone have a guest on the show. I believe we're still waiting to hear back from him. But hopefully we'll be able to get him on the show sometime soon if he doesn't show up tonight. You never know what's going to happen, and so I guess right now we're just going to have to see how that goes. But meantime, did you still want to talk about the topic that we're going to speak about with him on the show, or do you want to just wait for?
Well, yeah, there's no real reason to jump right into, the main event. Let's build up this undercard a little bit. We were talking about, at least I was talking about the new Neil Breen movie before.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And on the air.
And you
in the theater.
Yeah, you did torture yourself for about an hour and a half with that one. So why don't you go ahead and tell everybody how great that was?
It was the worst. Oh boy, was it ever a Neil Breen movie? And it was. I was mentioning it was my first experience seeing a Neil Breen movie in a group atmosphere. It's kind of made it more fun. And yeah. What can I say? State-of-the-art special effects, right? And a story that made sense to nobody. And
what was the story to this? Is it just missing people? That's all it was?
Okay. I guess spoilers?
Yeah, I have no intention of ever seeing it, so.
Well, somebody watching might. You never know. What is it about? Okay, so people are being abducted and experimented on, and then they have, and this guy, he's rich, and he wants them to be able to fight bad guys. And they have to stop trafficking. So I guess it's a lot like the Sound of Freedom. So instantly, because there's a trafficking element, this is one of those movies that you must watch. Otherwise, you're just un-American. about, something as important as human trafficking, right?
I guess, sure. Like, I mean, it's always going to be one of those deals where. Sorry, I'm just adjusting everything. Bear with me.
Yeah.
Sorry for all the mic noise. I guess, but at the same time, like, I mean, even Sound of Freedom was. Listen, it's. I appreciate any movie that touches base on that kind of stuff. I really do. Don't get me wrong. I really do appreciate those movies. But Sound of Freedom was not good. It was not good. It was okay at very best. It's just, a certain troop of people are like, oh, it's a movie of the year. It's a must see. Like, it's really not. There's better movies that touch on that stuff.
I guess you didn't see the post I made in the group.
I did not know.
The same theater where I saw Cade is doing a special event where it's like 90 minutes just of internet cat videos.
Internet cat videos.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And it's going to be the most important theatrical event I take part in all year.
Oh my God, that sounds so. I would actually know. You know what? I would go see that. Like, I would absolutely go see that. Like, I mean, just hey, you want to go see a Neil Breen movie or like the cat video movies? Like, no, the fucking cat video movie. Let's go see this one. Why? Less green screen.
It's not so much the, you don't go see the cat movie thing because, you can watch cat videos online, but it's the curation that you really sign up for.
No,
because
they
had to narrow it down. They had to figure out not only which cat videos to play, but which order to play them in. And I think that's one of those fine art films where you're going to see all the magic happening in the editing.
You think like they had these cat videos and you have like, I don't know, like there's some tension that builds up. So during this tension that's building up between two cats that are about to fight, you hear like the Avengers music when they're all correlating together to get ready to fight Thanos for the final time in Endgame. Like, Do you think they would actually have like just? Would you watch a movie if it was just like cat videos, but they would have like the build up and professional style like music leading up to whatever is going to happen in these videos?
Yes,
I absolutely would.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, but no, it's I cannot imagine for just like sitting through a Neil Breen movie for voluntarily sitting through one anyway. Now I can imagine if I was on a date with a girl and she's a huge fan, I'm just like lying to whatever. But it's just like, oh yeah, I love Neil Breen. What's your favorite movie? Yeah. Which
Faithful
one
Findings.
Isn't? Huh?
Faithful Findings.
The
answer is always Faithful Findings.
Oh God, I can't. I can't. I would just lie and say, "Oh, they're all great. I love them all equally."
You lying bastard! They're all terrible. That's why we love them.
They're so well done. None of them are well done. That's why I love them. Like, exactly. Oh well, I'm an act. Then I can actually flip the script. Like, well, I'm an actual fan. I don't think he's bad. I think he's amazing.
Neil Breen doesn't even think Neil Breen's amazing. He's very self-aware at this point, I'm sure.
Could you imagine if we had him on the show? And we're like, hey, dude, like, it's the king of bad movies. Like, oh, they're not bad movies. Like,
he's not Tommy Wiseau.
Like, I'm not saying that, like, I didn't mean to say that. I'm just like differentiating like him speaking versus me. I don't really. He's got like that weird accent though. He doesn't have like a European accent, but he does have like that, like just real specific speech pattern. But I watched like.
Hello, Brandon. How are you today? Huh?
I can't do it. Like I honestly, I would not know if he was acting or speaking because it's like, or if he was just being himself because in the movies, it's just like, I would imagine that's how he is in real life. Like the scene that you showed in the trailer last week, I think you showed the 5-minute trailer for his movie that the trailer didn't even show anything about the movie. When he's walking into that green screen mental asylum and the only real thing there is a wheelchair. And he, I don't know, flips the wheelchair good side. I just
classic Neil Breen right there.
I'm going to assume that was a powerful scene in the movie, huh?
Nope.
Big old turning point right there.
Nope. Just this thing is here flipping.
See, I would love to have like a movie night, like I don't know, like a Mortal Kombat tournament style between two filmmakers. I would like it to be Neil Breen's movies and the Antflix movies.
Okay, so we're talking Fateful Findings versus Born into Mafia.
Yeah, the one that was supposed to take place in Russia, but that was filmed in Jacksonville, Florida. Yes, that one. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're in Russia. Oh, look at the palm tree. Movie magic.
We're in Russia. Look, that sign says Arlington Olive Garden. The Russian nightclub is the Olive Garden.
I was going to say that was the Russian nightclub, right? Because I did watch it.
Yeah,
but that was an Olive Garden that they filmed the nightclub scene at.
Mm-hmm.
I can only assume they filmed that like guerrilla style. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine filming that scene and they're like trying to find these fake Russian accents or like thick Russian accents, whatever, speaking Russin, and the waiter comes over as they're showing this nightclub scene, high-end nightclub. Would you like more breadsticks, sir? Tell me when to stop with the Parmesan.
Now the question is, did you see the sequel?
I have not. No, I have no intention of ever seeing one of those movies again. Like I said before, I'm not going to badmouth someone for making a movie, even if it's a bad movie, because you're still steps ahead. You're still miles ahead of someone that just criticizes. Now, that being the case, as someone that has directed in the past, short films and music videos, one feature, sold scripts, as someone that has done that, I think I am able to say they're so bad. Now, congratulations on getting them done. But you could have just had like a mafioso movie set in Jacksonville. Yeah. The Russian people living in Jacksonville, Florida. There are Armenians and, other nationalities living in Jacksonville. It is much more of a melting pot city than people think it is. Yeah, you have Filipinos, you have people from like pretty much like the Eastern Europe. You have you have people from China, Japan. You have all kinds of people living in Jacksonville. It is a melting pot city, like not all that different from a place like New York City or even California, just as far as population goes.
Right.
But it's just like one of those deals where you could have easily had a movie that would make more sense if you just switched it around. Be like, well, we can't fly to Russia and film this, so why don't we just bring Russia here, but just not make Russia, because we can't really have like the Russian alphabet behind us on the signs and everything like you would see in Russia. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make them Russian mafiosos that are trying to establish themselves in Jacksonville. I would like that. That's actually an interesting concept. I would watch that.
Whoa.
And then it's just like, I guess, like if you're watching someone else's movies, you always have, I don't know, like the hindsight that I suppose they were missing when they made the movies.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like me with like Hurricane Party, right? With Hurricane Party, that is set to be filmed inside of one location, everything boarded up because I took that cue from Clerks. I took that cue from Clerks. Board the place up, make it take place during an actual hurricane. You can always have someone outside banging on the damn plywood out back, or wherever, just like scraping things against it, like just giving it that whatever ambiance. But you would hide what's really going on, which is most likely just a clear sunny day, and I could film that wherever I wanted to. Mm-hmm. But it's just those Netflix movies. I recommend people watch them, and I'm not saying watch them to make fun of them or criticize them. Watch them to see what's possible. You can do stuff. Now, Neil Breen relies heavily on green screen. When I say heavily, I mean absolutely on green screen.
Well, in yes.
Yeah, like this. So the whole movie that you showed. No, there are other movies he did not rely on green screen, but this one absolutely is 100%. It looks like it's 100% green screen. It reminds me of those 90s interactive VHS games where you would have like a board and everything else. You put the VHS in, you'd have them like that's what it reminds. Am I wrong? I can't be wrong with it. That's what it reminds me of. There was a Dungeon Master game. I think that's what it was called. It was a board game, but you had to like the Dungeon Master was on a VHS. It's like if you're too lazy to find one yourself or don't know how to play Dungeons and Dragons, well, here's a VHS tape, and they're telling you what to do the whole time. You had little chests, you had little pieces in it was just a board game. It was done within like a half hour. But that's what this movie, looking at the trailer, reminded me of. I may see it, possibly legally. I don't know yet. But it's just one of those things where it's just like, it's watch these movies and see what's possible. And like the Amphlex movies, if they were not filmed with a cell phone, which I'm kind of getting the sense that's what they were filmed with. But if they were not filmed with a cell phone, then they were filmed with a very, very, very low-end camera, no color correction whatsoever. Barely any post-production, anything past the editing. Not even the sound was really updated. Right. A few special effects, but that was very, very shoddily done. But the thing is he still did something. And it would be forgivable. It is forgivable for him to be so bad at this if it weren't for the fact that he puts out so many feature films. He puts out a ton of them. Yeah. But what are we drinking there, buddy? What are we drinking? Huh?
Monster Energy. I've been up since 3:30 this morning.
Monster's not good for you.
Yeah, it's stuff and junk and whatnot. I've been up since 3:30.
I don't care. I intend for you to outlive me.
Well, that's going to happen because you're going to get murdered.
Oh, I have no doubt. Like, my death will be gruesome.
It's like, you're going to outlive me. Yeah, as long as I can make it to next week,
all I want is my Viking funeral with fireworks and explosives and, flaming arrows. That's all I want, man. Like, and then whoever blows me up gets all my shit. Like, I think it's a pretty ingenious way to go about it. Mm-hmm. You see that in movies all the time. You see like these Viking funerals and everything, and they're so dramatic. They're so over the top dramatic. It's like Thor had a brilliant and I will say Thor 2 had a beautiful Viking funeral for Frigga. The music and everything else, like Loki's reaction knowing that his mom died and all that, and like it was his fault that she died basically. But what would your funeral be like? Like if you had it your way and you were able to sit back somewhere and watch people actually bury your carcass or do whatever they needed to do with your carcass, would it just be like traditional, like carry my casket, if I die young, like that kind of stuff? Like what would your funeral be like?
Well, I don't know. I plan on being there.
Then you're not living a full life. If you're not planning on planning out your full death and funeral. So, but if you could be there, what would you?
Die.
Huh?
I'm not gonna die.
All of us are going to die someday. 500 years from now, we are all going to be dead. Most of us long forgotten, and any problem that we have right now will mean dick then. So, like, we might as well just enjoy this right now.
Fine. Probably have like a 90-minute to 2-hour long podcast made.
Fucking podcast.
I know, seriously.
Okay.
If you'd rather me call it like a video or what have you, it would play during my funeral and everyone would be forced to sit and watch the whole thing.
Okay.
Because like finally I have an audience, right?
I can get behind that.
And you're a total dick if you try to leave.
You gotta give them incentives on why they should stay though. Offer cash prizes or something like that. Have like a claw machine and
Oh yeah, there'd be like a game show vibe going on. It's like here's a bunch of Reese's Pieces, right? So how about everybody lines up? Get the kids to line up. Get all the little kids to line up. And whoever can, land the Reese's Pieces in his mouth gets a prize.
Okay.
So, start writing this down. Let's see.
No, I'm not writing. I actually just found this. I've been looking at this for a hot minute. So, Great read, guys. The Hollywood Standard. That's actually my second favorite next to Screenwriter's Bible for screenwriting. I was trying to see if this is the one that I purchased. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Let's see what else. Yeah, there would have to be a viewing of Back to the Future for sure.
Okay.
Maybe a live performance by Blink-182.
Okay.
Because why not? It's my fantasy film, right? And then we would go out and punch an ice cream man in the face.
Okay. Let's see. Did you say that? Did you say go out and punch the ice cream man in the face?
Well,
is that because you hear the ice cream truck in the background of my neighborhood?
I was going to say it's not in the background of my neighborhood where it's 10:30 at night.
Well, I mean, this will go on till like 9 o'clock at night here. Trust me. So, yeah.
So yeah, I was making joking reference. Let me be clear, joking reference to let's proceed with that.
Okay. Well, I will share mine for the world.
You want to be set on fire? You already told us.
No, that's not it at all. Actually, the Viking funeral is just the tip of the iceberg there.
There's more.
Oh, there's a lot more. Pretty much what you do first, you have to set everything up. You have to send out invitations, make it like, a very like upbeat thing. Death is like, really like just morose, and it's, it's sad and all that, all that shit. Like, no one really looks forward to going to a funeral. You got to make it a party. Like this is a person's, like, I look at this as like the biggest send off that you can do to someone. Like, first you bring them into the world. It's a big, oh my God, it's a boy or it's a girl. You should like bring them, like, celebrate this child that was just born. They graduate high school, celebrate them. Absolutely. Have a big old graduation party. They get married. They say they go to college. They graduate college. Let's have a big old party before they go off and do their thing in the real world now. They get married. They have their kids. You're just celebrating all these aspects of life, but no one really like actually celebrates death.
Right.
It's always like so like tearful. Oh, it's so hard to say goodbye to what we had, all the good times, like, whatever. So what my idea would be to have a Viking funeral. You send out invites and everything else, and these invites are in the forms of like pop-up cards. You send them out and everything else, and it's like my picture coming up like that. But I'm like, I pre-posed before I died, tongue hanging out, X's over my eyes, shit like that. Make it funny. They show up. You have flaming arrows. You just like have arrows stuck into the ground, or laying on a table, whatever, with claws wrapped around them. You have a big old fire over here, but then you have me laying on, a raft. What you don't see on this raft is that I am doused in kerosene, absolutely doused in kerosene. Along with that kerosene, there's one block of C4, just a small block of C4. And then there is also a bunch of fireworks. So these are things that you don't see because they're strategically covered up. So that way they push me out in the water and everything else. Someone goes out there and they anchor my raft down. And I thought long and hard about if I want them to anchor me down, maybe they'd like have something like underneath, like on like one of those mechanical devices that like floats me back and forth. That way it's like, like a shooting game. How good is your aim? But every arrow is like $5. Every arrow. I don't care if it takes you 100 shots. It's $5 per flaming arrow. And that shit's like, that bitch is moving back and forth in the lake. So whoever shoots me gets the pool from like all the money that went into people that wanted to shoot these arrows. So say it's like 100 arrows that we go through and it's $5 per arrow. Guess what? That bitch, like, you're not leaving until I blow up. But now that's $500 that you just won. Those are better odds than Vegas. Okay, I think I'm doing some very good work here. So that being the case, all that money goes in. Then when someone blows me up or lights me on fire, they're surprised by the explosion of the C4. They're surprised. Big old kaboom. No one can see that coming. I just blow up. But then once I blow up, at the same time, while the rat is on fire, before the C4 even has a chance to blow up, fireworks are already shooting up into the sky. You got like Disney style fireworks going on now. And then when I blow up, I go into the water. preferably. That way I am eaten. I would feel really bad if certain parts of my body landed in some kid's hot dog bun. And it's like, he mistakes that for like, an actual hot dog. And then I have to explain why I'm a sexual predator posthumously. But the thing is, like, just all this goes down. And then whoever blows me up gets all my shit. I go into the water. All the marine life eats me. Whatever survived the blast, that is. I don't really. There's going to be a few fish that are going to be floating over to the shore. I can guarantee from like the shockwave from that C4. But yeah, like the marine life, it eats me. And so now I'm down there. I am scattered, like parts of me all over like the place, radius wise in the lake. And whoever like I said, whoever shot me blows up all my blew me up, gets all the money from the pool, and then they take my shit. So that way inheritance is handled. I don't have to worry about anyone fighting over shit because who's going to fight with like, hey, this fucker blew him up, he won. Like, who would really fight that? Like, it's like, hey, are you sure it was them? So, well, yeah, we have it on video. Look at this instant replay. Like, it's just like, whoosh, oh, they won. Yeah, see, they won. They inherited everything. So I don't care if I have like, the Ecto-1, proton packs, whatever. If you blew me up, that meant that you absolutely abided by my wishes. It doesn't mean if you liked me or hated me, you still were interested in trying to blow up moi at my funeral. And you fed the fishies while you're at it. So yeah, that's
disappointed.
You're disappointed.
I am.
Oh, Mr. Like, oh, well, this is what I would do. Like that. How are you disappointed with what I'm saying? I would love to see what I just said.
You're taking away the opportunity for me to dance on your grave.
Well, no, there can still be a grave. It's like the Tomb of the Fall. Like
you're like in bits and pieces at the bottom of the lake.
Yeah, guess what? Forrest Gump. I'm sorry, Jenna, my ass, like from Forrest Gump, put me by a tree. Just put a headstone there, and that way it's like, well, I can't piss on you in person, so here, this is as good a spot as any. Like, I mean, in your heart, you're pissing on me.
How about afterwards, when everybody's gone?
This whole show has nothing to do with movies. Go ahead.
When I get an opportunity to go out to the middle of the lake and talk to the remnants of you just one-on-one and get to talk about how much I'll miss you. Wish that you were still here as I do a little jig and slowly drop my pants and take a dump right in the middle of the lake.
Thank God you're taking a dump though. Like honestly, it's like I'm going to drop my pants and
Hi, it's a family show.
No, it's not. It is so far from that. Come on. And I'm clapping my hands. Clapping my hands, okay? You're applauding me. That's what you're doing, okay?
Giving you the applause.
That's the most graphic thing I've ever done on the show. But go ahead. What were you saying? Taking a dump on my grave. On my corpse is rotting in the lake.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it.
Oh my God. We just need a podcast where we can talk about messed up scenarios. I think that would do very well.
If we have one, it's called podcast.
No. We're supposed to be. You and I had a specific strategy for this one show 3 years ago, which was to discuss the film industry, the writers, actors, directors, and everything in between. That was our goal for this show, and most times we do it. I know today it fell through with a guest, and we did talk about Neil Breen versus Anflix.
Yeah, that's a heck of a battle right there.
And then we got into what we would do at our funerals. That was on me because I asked you, so that is on me.
Mm-hmm. It's all your fault. And I mentioned a movie in mine,
so yeah. Well, I did see a movie the other day for the first time since I was a kid. Right? Oh, I care because it's just as messed up as it was when I was a kid.
Okay, by all means.
Watership Down.
Okay, yeah.
I watched that. I'm like, wow, I was allowed to see this when I was a kid. Like,
and
that was
to watch it as a child.
But then I was thinking, like back when you and I were kids, it was the 80s, and the shit that you and I watched. If you were a child of the 80s, you were watching some messed up shit like that was rated PG. It didn't matter what was in it. Indiana Jones, some guy's faces melting off, another guy's head explodes, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. another guy like Alfred Molina gets impaled by those spikes at the beginning of the movie. You have all these movies that just came out, like Gremlins, for Christ's sake. We talked about this in a previous episode. But
yeah,
Jaws.
Hold on, I mentioned. You know what the difference between a PG-13 or a PG movie and an R movie when we were kids was?
The F word. Oh yeah.
Cover your eyes.
Yeah, I think the gratuitous nudity is what really kind of put it over the top back in the back then. Because like really, like I mean, if you even look at some of those horror films, aside from some boobies and everything else, there's really not a whole lot that really makes them. I don't know. There's not a whole lot that really makes it rated R. There's no blood in Halloween, in the first Halloween. There's little to no blood at all, actually. I think the only scene where there's really any blood is the opening scene when he kills his sister Judy. So yeah, I don't think, let me see something really quick.
But then you got Hellraiser, that's like one of the most freaking brutally graphic movies I've ever seen, done with no computer effects.
Just boobs, yeah.
We had to be protected from the tatas.
I saw so like, well, see, my mom worked to see your parents remained married all through your childhood. I thought your parents were like married all through your childhood. Now, like your mom and your dad. Oh, that's right. No, that's right. That was not.
No, they divorced when I was 5 for the second time.
Gotcha. Okay. But see, like my parents, like I don't have any memories of my parents even being together, like at all as a kid. So my thing is that, like,
I was 22.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. But it's like, see, I don't have that. Like, I'm just saying, it's like I don't have any memories. Like, my stepdad, he Jimmy kicked ass as a father material. We had our issues, but he kicked ass. But the thing is, like, he wasn't even aware of the things I watched. Mind you, before my stepdad came along, it was largely just me, my mom, and my brother. And that being the case, we had this whole entire childhood of mom working, in EMS. Quite often, well, she really did whatever she could do to pay the bill. She was a single mom back in the 80s and 90s to 2 boys, so she just did whatever she had to do. Talk about sacrificing your 20s and your 30s. My mom did all that. But I remember that she would work such long hours that sometimes she wouldn't come home till like late at night. So I just watched whatever movies I wanted to watch. If it was on TV or like, I don't think we even had HBO, but we had the illegal channels that we were able to get to come in once in a while. But then my uncle would watch us once in a while. My Uncle Don would watch us. And when he would watch us, we would just like have all kinds of messed up movies. I don't know if you've ever seen those, the Bloodstone movies, Subspecies, it's like Full Moon Entertainment. Oh yeah. Yeah. We watched that. I watched Hellraiser, Galaxy of Terror when I was like 10 years old. And like that has like a worm pretty much, getting down with a woman on an alien planet. It's like really weird. Don't even know how to describe that one, but, watching some graphic stuff, but like when he would actually try to be like a responsible adult, don't get me wrong, I love my Uncle Don, but he put on like his idea of like having us watch like family friendly movies is watching like the Twilight Zone movie. Or you need to get some different drink. You need to get some water, not that monster stuff. That's bad for you. Caffeine is very bad for you, Josh. Jeez. But the thing is,
no.
But it's just like the things that he would have us watch. Like he finally figured out, like G.I. Joe, Ghostbusters, Silverhawks, Tiger Sharks, Thundercats. That was a safe bet. The Centurions. These were safe bets. Mask. But when it came to like a lot of movies and media, like I grew up watching Ren and Stimpy. You want to talk about the things that we grew up watching? Like Ren and Stimpy was pretty damn graphic for a show that we heard that was like aired for kids. But I don't know. There was so much that we were allowed to watch back then that that was like considered family friendly. I was allowed to watch Ren and Stimpy, and in living color, I was not allowed to watch The Simpsons. I never understood it. Considering how tame The Simpsons was compared to everything else I was allowed to watch.
Yeah. Same.
Like, I think it's because Bart Simpson actually said hell or damn or something like that, like in the show once in a while. But I don't know.
Amber mentions Powder Toast Man.
Powder Toast Man.
Hey kids, this is a song about a whale. No, it's a song about being happy.
Oh God, did I ever send you that that little GIF that I made to describe? I think it was the writing process. Let me see really quick. Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah. It's my gift that I made to describe the writing process. Did I ever send this to you?
Probably.
It's from Ren and Stimpy. But I was looking at this and I was thinking, what does DC do the best? And I feel like they write their movies in the time frame it takes for you to take a shit. Now I've never seen anything to change my mind on that one. So I made something once I saw, like, I was like watching Ren and Stimpy. I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what they do when they're writing a script. So I'll send this to you if you would like to if you like to share this, because it's not graphic. Well, it kind of is graphic. It's from Ren and Stimpy, but this is what studios look for in writers, as far as I'm concerned. Like mainstream studios, like Warner Brothers, Paramount, Sony. I think these days, if you want to be a screenwriter, you need to take a cue from this little GIF. If you're able to share that, Josh. Huh? Oh, come on! It's funny. Now people are going to be curious about this. There's no nudity. It's not graphic. We're not going to get tagged for this one, I promise you. But it is pretty good. I even took the sound out to keep the graphic nature down because the sound was what made it graphic. But this is what I do in my spare time, ladies and gentlemen. I make things to make myself laugh all the damn time, and I'm usually pretty good at it.
Yeah. That's what that whole post that I made was about.
It's to talk about how horrible I am. Because let me go look for this post really quick, because I feel like it's something that's going to talk about how horrible of a person I am.
You know what? I don't think you should look for it. I think you should see it for the first time on camera.
I'm looking for it right now. That is what I consider writing in modern Hollywood. You skipped the part of his relief they had. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. You tagged me in here, pal.
Yeah, let's see.
Like nothing at all.
Let's see.
Yeah, I got nothing. Unless it was like some kind of video or something like that. You were just scrolling past. You tagged me inside the video or like in someone else's post, but
nope. I actually created something.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I'm sorry, buddy. I did not see. I'm not even seeing a notification from you here. When did you do this? When did you tag me in something?
Hold on. I'm just going to go to it. Put it up.
Okay.
There we go. Oh.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like that. But you know what? Listen, I think that if there is a God and a Jeebus and a Satan, I honestly think that I would like to think that they have a good sense of humor. Because of all the things I say and do, I'm really not that bad when it comes to how I treat other people. So compared to things I say or do, I could be worse. I could be a church-going hypocrite that treats people like shit after I attend my 1 hour of forgiveness every week. Just to wash, rinse, repeat, and be a complete dick for the rest of the week. So I think that honestly, if there is a God or a Jeebus and all that, like I think that they would actually very much forgive me and give me a sandwich when I'm up there. Like it's like, oh, welcome to heaven, Brandon. Here's a potato chip and ketchup sandwich. Oh, thank you so much. And I down the bad boy. but it's just like, yeah, like I mean the other like, yeah, my memes get pretty like bad at times. Not like terrible, but I mean like just like bad, like not socially acceptable. Let me see here. Yeah. Disclaimer, I just got a message from somebody asking about Matt McCarthy. Disclaimer, there seems to have been, if you're just chiming in, we were told that he'd be on the show tonight. Something may have happened. He is a married and doting father, doting husband and father. So it's like he has, like something could have happened or gone down. So maybe we'll have him again in the future. I was excited to have him on here. Josh was excited to have him on here, but things do happen. So no harm, no foul, nothing, no bad attitude towards Matt. He's always welcome back on the show. Most of our past guests are welcome on our show at any time that they're free. So all but one. I'm not going to mention who, but it's for very, very good reasons. But yeah, we're excited to have him back here sometime soon. I should really reach out to like Kelly or like maybe like reach out to like a few people and see if they would like to come on, because there's a lot of catching up we have to do with our guests. And we tell everyone that this is a revolving door show. Like, you're always welcome back whenever you're free. We'd love to have you back here. But yeah, it's just one of those deals. Like, things do happen. I mean, there was one time I think I was on the show almost a half hour late because I fell asleep. So, and I'm such a selfish asshole that I fall asleep and Josh is over there like 3 hours ahead of me, like wide awake and waiting for me to get here at like 7:30 my time, 10:30 p.m. his time. I've got a dog to worry about, and he's got 3 pets, and and he's the pet to somebody else. So it's like he's got like his own things to worry about. So yeah. But yeah, so Matt is not on our show tonight. He did not leave early. He did not come in. It's not that he's ignoring us. I'm sure things just happened. So that's really all there is to it. But mind you, he's also an actor. I don't know if he's just been like involved with a non-union project, or if he's out there doing his thing with like the strikes. Right? We don't know. So, but. He didn't strike me the first time we had him on here as a vindictive person. And last show, Josh, when we had him on here, we were on here for like almost 2.5 hours, right? Like, we were on here for a while talking to him. And I think even like our wrap up afterwards went on for another like half hour. So we actually had him with us for almost like 3 hours, I think, that night. I had to go back and look, but it was quite a while that we had him on our show. You're on mute. I can't hear you respond. Josh is nodding and shaking his head. For those that are not watching but listening, Josh is nodding and shaking his head right now. So, and now he's like, giving me the finger. Yeah, and now he's staring seductively at me. So it's like he's doing he's doing some weird shit, guys. So if you're listening to this, he's doing some really weird things. If you're blind, I am much better looking. Josh has 3 kids, so he's a little worn down by life. But that's what happens when you have kids. Just nature. He's still sweet. He's still my baby. I love Josh. He's still my boy. Right, Josh? Josh, he's ignoring me now. Hi. Right? That's right. Yeah. Got them big old blue eyes. Look at those things. Anyway, so yeah, that being the case, that's all that's happened with Matt. Like, so we're going to see if we can get him back on another show sometime in the future. So yeah, not too sure yet, but
I was actually responding to a message.
Okay.
From that.
Okay, what happened?
Something came up.
Okay, yeah. See, there we go. Something came up, ladies and gentlemen. So, like I said, things happen. Shit happens. All you can do is move on and just, again, maybe in the future we'll get him on the show. But either way,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like I said, like I said earlier, that's why I said that 99.9% of our guests are welcome back here. Actually, I can't really say 0.9. I just got to say 99% of our guests are welcome back here, because you can't really do a point system for a person, because that implies like part of them is allowed on the show.
Kind of racist. Yeah, you can't count
How is that
someone as
racist?
a person.
No, that's not racist. It's classist. Get it right. But
so everybody that has ever been on the show is welcome back at this point,
except for one. But like I said, that is for good reason. It's not something that we discuss publicly on the show.
Wind up here every week, Brandon.
What do you mean?
I'm implying that you're the one person that's not welcome back.
Oh no, it's half my show. No, I'm talking about like one of our guests. Like one of our guests in the past. And it's only because there's so much stuff following them around and I think I was the one that made that call. So, and it's rare for me to make any call like that, but it was me making that call, not Josh. But Josh was in agreement after I explained the situation.
After I heard the situation, I was like,
so,
okay.
Yeah, there's listen, what we'd like to do here is we like to discuss writers, actors, directors, everyone in between. We don't discuss people that take advantage of other people. That's one thing we do not discuss, and we don't praise them. We do not validate what they do in the industry because they are the type of person that makes the industry volatile. So now Mark, Eddie, Sue, we've had quite a few people here that have Kelly. We've had a few people talk about what they do in the industry. Brian, and even my buddy Ryan, my cousin Ernie. We've had him on the show. These are people I know treat people with fairness and actual legitimate respect. So yeah, the other person that we are not going to have on the show is very much not one of those people. What is it, like a agent, producer, never did anything at all. I can't find a single thing at all that's been done aside from like a very short interview from 20 plus years ago.
Although we do have a very short list of people that are not welcome on the show in the first place.
Well, yeah, but we never try to even reach out to these people. So
right.
But I'm just saying, I'm talking about people that were on the show before.
Right. That list actually has more meaning since they were already on the show.
Oh yeah, like we have the person
that we'll never have on the show.
Well, we have the person that you and I met through. I have no intention of ever having. I have no intention of ever having him on the show, and I have no intention of working with him ever again. You can't really call yourself a producer and then just like abandon the project and say like, well, now I need to get paid before I come back when you're the one that hired me. So, but yeah, it's one of those deals where it's just like there are just some people that I do not like associate with just due to the negativity. And this gentleman that we won't have on the show ever again is just one of those people. So like I've been rambling about this long enough.
I will say that I'm going to be doing a little bit more reaching out to some possible guests in the near future. Hopefully, we'll have just as high success rate getting some of these.
Well, like I says again, for those of you that are just chiming in, there's an announcement I wanted to make a little while back. I didn't really want to make any announcement due to the legalities and all that stuff because I am myself personally going through some legal stuff, but not on my end. I'm not the recipient of it with the backlash. But the thing is I'm the cause of said backlash towards something else. But that's going to give me some time off in the very near future. The clock's ticking right now. But that's going to give me 2 months to really sit down and really start forming something and try to give Josh a little bit of a break here because Josh has been absolutely running like everything. When I say everything, I mean absolutely everything. What you see of me is pretty much the extent of my involvement aside from things that Josh and I discuss outside of the cameras.
Brandon shows up 2 minutes before here and he's like, okay, let's do this.
First off, kiss my ass. I was here a half hour earlier today. Thank you.
And I love you for it.
So, but no, life is busy and it's about to be less busy for me. Thankfully, for the first time in years, I'll be able to actually breathe for a little bit. But that means that I will be focusing a lot of my energy on what we can do with Wadco Media, with the WADcast, hopefully with Jen with 1021. And also with her website building. By the way, Jen, if you're listening to this, a little announcement for you. I have some people that might need some services in the very near future. I don't want to throw them at you yet while they're undecided, but I have very much very much sung your praises. So we're going to hopefully meet sometime this week, and I might be able to get some more business your way. But yeah, there's quite a few things that are going to be coming up in a couple months. New additions, not podcasts or anything like that. Like at least nothing I'm going to be doing, but actual video content will be coming up in the next 2 to 3 months. So if you like what culture, watch Mojo, things like that, Nuke's Top 5, but think more like film industry instead of paranormal. That's the stuff that I'll be pretty much putting out there. Some of them will be lists, some of them will just be like trivia, facts, stuff like that, but it'll actually be footage involved, so that you can really just watch on the go or whatever, while you're on your break. But yeah, there's a few things I'm working on, things I've already discussed with Josh about. We do have a hostess on the side, and I'm trying to find people to help out with that. Danielle said that she'd be more. Danielle said she'd be more than happy to come in and actually do the stand-in for a few of the voiceovers, in case you're busy or I'm busy. Just have her come in here, record herself on the mic, and I can just have that, and I can do the editing process with the clips and things like that. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be, what I'm going to be working on for a little while. I will be taking 2 weeks away. I should be available for the podcast at least while I'm gone for those 2 weeks. I don't know 100%, but that will be something I will let everyone know well in advance, because I'll be going to Florida and New Jersey to take care of a few things, and it'll be pretty much be a 2-week period away from everything. So, but yeah, in that downtime, like I said, we're going to have some updates, new features, new content. We're going to have a brand new fleshed out website, thanks to Jen. It's going to help us out with that one. And yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to tell everyone today. So I'm looking forward to the breathing room, the time to be able to just sit down in my little office here and just focus on the next step to everything. So, and hopefully by the time I'm done, we'll be much more of a functioning company to where we have less worries, and we can actually spend more time just focusing on this as opposed to things we don't really care about doing, but we have to do to pay bills and take care of the animals that depend on us. I'm not calling your kids animals, but technically we're all animals, so I'm not really scientifically wrong there. The mammals depend on us, unless you have a fish, in which case that would be just aquatic life too.
But you brought up Jen. I just want to remind everybody that if you liked or like the 10-2-1 podcast, it's been on a great hiatus, mostly due to life, but also because of the fire that's been ravaging Maui, where Jen lives. And yeah, and whatever you do, whatever you feel, whatever your thing is, as far as sending positive vibes, prayers, or whatever, make sure you keep sending them over that way, because it just seems like as each day goes by, the catastrophe, the disaster is just getting more and more awful. So, yeah, let's keep Maui close to our hearts, people. Especially if you love 10-2-1, and if you love the content that Jen helps us put out.
Yeah, can I say one thing? If you go to Hawaii, do me a favor, don't be a dick. If these people are rummaging through their what's left of their old lives, their belongings, and their old domiciles and everything else, and it's all in ash and rubble and all that crap. Do me a favor. Don't go to the beach and start swimming in the waters that's right by these there are reports of, have you read about this, people walking past all the rubble and jumping in the ocean, just swimming around and having the best time of their lives there, taking pictures and treating the fires as they're also tourist attraction. Guys, don't do that. That's so, what, I'm gonna use it. I've already used my one, but I'm gonna use it again. That's so fucked up. It's so incredibly fucked up. Don't do that, guys. Just respect these people's lives and what they've lost and everything else, the trauma that they're going through, the emotions they're going through. And for some of the more conservative asshats that are on my friends list on Facebook saying well, they shouldn't have lived there. Guess what? Wildfires are not akin to Hawaii at all times. It's kind of hard. It's rare. Volcanoes, sure. But if you're living in Florida and you get devastated by a hurricane, why are you living there? You know, if you're living in New Jersey and you get devastated by like, you know, blizzard and everything else, and some shit happens or whatever, you get into a car crash on the way home or lose a loved one on the highway, why are you living there? Shit happens no matter where you live. Okay. If you're religious, then maybe you can go with the whole, it's God's plan. That'll make you feel better. But Hawaii is a very beautiful place. It's very special to my heart as well. I love Hawaii. I really do. I've got some friends that live out there. Fortunately, aside from Jen, none of them live in Maui. But it's still, huh?
Ben, you out there? You listening right now? If you are, drop a message. I don't remember which one. Sorry. Yeah, I have more than one people that live in Hawaii.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's like if you're personally attached, it makes it even more messed up when you hear about things like how the tourists are conducting themselves, or the idiots online saying like, well, they shouldn't be living there; it should just be a tourist destination. It's like, no, Hawaii should be its own territory. It should not be a tourist destination where people are trying to buy up masses of land. Like, you know, like you have. Oh, go ahead. What?
If people are like, it should just be a tourist destination. It's like, right. Okay, let's go with that train of thought for a second. Who's going to work there? If everybody on the island's a bloody tourist, who's going to work at the hotel?
If you ask the road group of people, it's like, I don't know, the savages that live there. Like, just that is what it would like. What I would imagine they would say. Like, Hawaii is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful state. It is gorgeous. It's a beautiful string of islands. If you've never been there, you owe it to yourself to eventually go. I'd say I recommend giving them their privacy right now while they deal with things. Because while Maui is the one that's affected, it's not just Maui that's grieving what happened. That is a very tight-knit community.
The sentiment is, no, now is a great time to go. By all means, go to Hawaii.
Yeah, if you're going to help.
Money there. Spend your money there.
But what I say,
in the way of any kind of rescue or rebuilding efforts. But the fact remains that the communities need the tourist dollars to be able to rebuild.
Yeah, well, that's why I didn't really get a chance to really finish what I was saying. I was going to say, if you are going to go, just don't be a dick. Just understand they are going through something. It is a very terrible situation that they're going through. Yeah, they need all the money that they can get, more than the $700 one-time payments. And this is not a political show, so I won't get political, but they need more than what they're getting from the U.S. government, considering all the shit that we put them through in the past. You think that we'd actually be more open to helping them out. But I mean, come on, have you read about that $700 one-time payment to families displaced by the flood? That's okay. You got 2 nights in a hotel, guys, maybe 3. And we did our part. But again, this is not a political podcast, so I'm not going to get too political about it. But I will say that what they are going through right now is an absolute tragedy. And they definitely need the tourist dollars and everything else. And I believe right now it's actually probably going to be a little. And this is not meant to be a joke or a condescending joke at that. But right now, I'd imagine it's probably a little cheaper to fly there, considering everything that they're going through.
At least say there's a fire sale going on.
No, oh, God, that's
because that would be rude and insensitive.
I mean that. Oh God. And you call me a horrible person. But the thing is still, right now, I believe it is cheaper to fly to Hawaii. And if you go there, then spend all the money that you can afford to spend for the local community, to help the economy out. But the thing is again, don't be a dick. Don't walk past someone's former house that they lived in that's now rubble and taking pictures of the house while they're going through their shit, or going down to the beach and swimming in the water while taking pictures, smiling with them in the background, with the rubble. I've seen a few pictures posted online now about this from friends that live in Maui that are talking about people that that know people that are visiting Maui, but people that are posting pictures of themselves at the beach with all the rubble in the background. And this is like one of these. The earliest one was taken the day after the fires. It's still smoldering rubble. There's still smoke coming up. There's someone taking pictures like, yay, like, and their family's playing in the water. Like, dude, if you don't see any smiles on the faces of the local, maybe you should stop smiling yourself when you're playing around them. Just maybe understand what's the saying? Read the room.
Yeah,
very old saying in the industry, and in most industries, just read the room.
Put a frown on your face and give away your money.
Yeah, just pretend to give a shit. Preferably actually give a shit, but just if you don't, just pretend. So, but anyway, what else we got on the docket here tonight, Josh?
We have a docket.
Do we never?
I got caught up on Deadliest Catch. So yeah, I'm up to date on Deadliest Catch.
Oh God, that show.
So since I don't have to finish it, I decided, I'm gonna watch Gold Rush. So I've been watching Gold Rush.
And that's another reality TV show.
I
don't know how you and everyone else does that shit.
About Alaska.
How does anyone watch reality TV? It's so bad.
You're talking to the guy that paid money to go see Neil Breen movie in the movie theater.
Fair enough. Well, no, it's like, I got Danielle who watches things like Love is Blind. My best, my buddy's wife also named Danielle, and the Godfather, all 7 of their kids, apparently, all 7 of them. So, Steve, Danielle, you guys better fucking stay alive. I'm not raising 7 kids. But
really?
The thing is,
you're gonna drop another casual F-bomb?
Well, I've already broken the F-bomb rule, so might as well just go balls to the wall now. We're already rated R, Josh. Okay.
At least the second one was in a worthwhile context.
Yeah, but the thing is, now we're already in rated R territory, so I might as well just enjoy. Oh, excuse me. I might as well just enjoy the whole R rating and just go balls to the wall. Let my freak flag fly. But no, the thing is
show everybody your junk. Like, might as well. We're rated R.
Well, that would make it NC-17. Now I could do a gratuitous, I could open up the blinds here and do a gratuitous butt in the moonbeam walk from Lethal Weapon, but that would keep it rated R. But yeah, but what I was getting at is they watch these movies. Danielle, my Danielle watches she watches a lot of reality TV. She loves reality TV, like the dating stuff and things like that. Now Steve's Danielle, she watches things like Below Deck. They've watched the Jersey Shore, just tons of reality television. I love Danielle very much. She's like a sister to me. I've known her for, since high school. So we're going into the 22 to 20, almost 24 years I've known Danielle, quarter of a lifetime. But she's always loved these things. I'm just cracking up because I tried watching them. I just can't get into them. Now it's probably because of the fact that I used to work on a reality TV show, and I just realized how much I hated my life doing it. So that being the case, there's just a few things I absolutely loathe about it, and yeah, I don't understand the appeal. I never did. Oh, that's right. I spilled wine last night. Forgot.
I mean, it depends on the show. Big Brother back. I always watch Big Brother.
Oh God.
Because it's something my mom and I did together.
No, see, at least there's a reason behind it.
For things like Deadliest Catch and Gold Rush, I lived in Alaska and I miss it so much, and I would love for it to get back there. The other day, as I'm looking at the temperature, I got on my phone and I'm like, in Anchorage, the high today is 62 degrees. I want to go to there. I want to go to there so bad, because it's they're it's 75. It's freaking hot. That's where I need my life at. 75-degree heat wave. That's where I need to be. So Deadliest Catch, I don't know, maybe it's the tribalism where you have your favorite votes, and it just seems like a lot of I don't know, it just seems cool. And then the fact that these guys are making 30, 40, 50 grand working a month.
Yeah.
Right? Working for a month, and I could do that for a month, right? Just a month. And realizing, no, I definitely.
No. What those guys do, it's some dangerous shit. But there are people that like when I grew up in when I went to high school in Cape May, New Jersey, there are a few people I know that actually end up going because that is a fishing community. There are like fishing vessels and everything else that go out there. People that work on them full time. I mean, hell, we even have this in Jacksonville. Not many, but like it's not as much, but we have them in Jacksonville. But yeah, Alaska is where they get like all the king crabs and everything else. Like that's where a lot of the crabbing goes down. A lot of the lobstering goes down out there too, and as well as up by Maine. But yeah, it's like there are people I went to high school with that are making well over six figures, and all they do is go out for like a few weeks on a fishing boat, and they're off for a little period of time, then they go back out again. You know, one thing I wish I got into if I wasn't deathly afraid of heights is I've got a friend of mine that goes on. He just changes the light bulbs on those towers. You know, he does. I think he travels. He does 4 a year. 4. That's all he does. Every 3 months he does one. You know how much he makes?
No.
Per tower? The first one he makes 40 grand. 40 grand. He goes up there. Comes down. I mean, it's like, think of the movie Fall. That's like when she's charging her cell phone all the way at the very top of that thing. That's what he's got. That light bulb up there is what he's got to change. That's what he does. He's got a YouTube channel where he does where he just like videotapes. He's got a TikTok where he just videotapes him climbing up and everything. No, absolutely not. He's like, oh, you should try it. Like, they don't care how old you are. Like, they even train you on how to do it. And like, you know, like your training periods, you go up with somebody. Like when they do, I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
They don't care how old you are.
I'm sure that's a lie because I was told the same thing about was an aircraft controller, but they cut you off at 35. That's the oldest you can do. That's the oldest you can be to get into it because 56 is a mandatory retirement age from being an air traffic controller. If I were to do it now, I'd be working for 16 years before I got booted. So
very stressful job.
A very well-paying job once you get them, but it even takes, I think, 2-3 years to get the training to become a full-fledged certified air traffic controller.
Well, I would hope so. How many lives you have here?
No, yeah, and it's 24/7. You know, 24/7 job, nights, weekends, days, doesn't matter, holidays. It does not matter. You're there. You're there when they need you. But they're short-staffed in that field right now. I know that much. But I don't know. Maybe they did the military thing where they raised the age limit. Because I think I just aged out of any type of military service if I wanted to go in. But either way, on that note, I'm going to get out of here because I do have a few things to get done tonight. I don't work tonight, but I do have a few things I've got to get done.
All right.
But I will call you shortly here and discuss something with you that I wanted to discuss with you earlier. But ladies and gentlemen, if you want to follow us, I know tonight hasn't really been much of a very movie industry centric show, but why is Marion on here?
It's never a better.
No, she's God, absolutely, that woman was gorgeous. But either way, so yeah, so if you want, follow me, bjacksman1982 on Instagram, Facebook. I've gotten tons of friend requests, guys. I don't follow the friend requests. I'm very bad at them. I don't do them very often. But yeah, you can follow us on there. But more importantly, follow the WADcast. Go on Instagram, go on Facebook, type in the WADcast. You'll see us. There's both of them are. The profile picture is of the logo with me and Josh standing in front of it. You know, follow us. Our shows usually are much more film centric than what they are tonight. But tonight it's me and Josh just really hanging out, just killing time since plans fell through. But yeah, so give us a follow, give us a like, go check us out. And like I said, in a few short months, we're going to have a lot more content to really put out there for you guys to really get into and enjoy. But yeah, that being the case, yeah, that's all I got.
All right, get out of here, you scam.
All right, I'll call you back in a few minutes here, pal. All right, guys, have a safe weekend. Have a great weekend. Josh is right there with
Christ, are you still here?
I am. And yeah, you guys have a good one. I'll see you guys next week.
Just messing with Brandon. As we were mentioning, if you want to do stuff, as far as we go over to WADcomedia.com. That's where all the pertinent links are for socials and supporting type stuff. So WADcomedia.com, bookmark it, make it your one-stop shop to get to all the usual suspects when it comes to social media links, when it comes to Wadco Media, when it comes to the podcast, when it comes to 1021, that is still a thing, we just haven't done it in a minute. And we also have a merchandise section. Yeah, merch. So you can find that at WADcomedia.com. We have a Patreon. We have one. I'd prefer you go to the merchandise page if you feel like spending the money, because at least you have something to show for it. You'll have something in your hands, something tangible that you can order and, carry with you. Instead of, if I give this money, maybe these guys will do this thing. Because I don't really know what kind of thing you're calling. He's calling me now. You know what? We're going to take this. Yeah.
Hey, so I was trying to think of something else that we could do.
Hey, Brandon, can I finish doing the show first?
Oh, yeah, right.
All right.
Oh, yeah, bye.
Yeah, it gives me 2 seconds, but anyway. WADcomedia.com, and like I've been saying, I've told you time and time again, when it comes to creating, all you have to do is try and create. If anything, you only see Neil Breen or watching Netflix or things like that. If you watch these movies and you're not into the it's so bad that I find it hilarious. At least watch a Neil Breen movie and go, I could do that. Have that in the back of your mind when you watch these movies that are considered absolutely terrible. Just go, you know what, I can do that. So with that being said, we are not doing the inspirational message of the week. We haven't been doing it for a minute because, as you may know, the writers and the actors are on strike, although there does seem to be some movement in finding some common ground, some negotiation space. But until that is done, until the writers and actors have agreed to the terms and moved back into work, we will be foregoing the Go Create. Just go crossing the picket lines. If you in your heart, in your soul, feel like you absolutely must support what's going on with the writers and actors, go to WGAcontract2023.org, SAG-AFTRA strike.org, and entertainmentcommunity.org. And those are all they're 3 wonderful websites to really find out more about the strikes that are going on and find out ways that you can help, whether it's donating some money to the people that are currently out of work, or whether it's joining a picket line, or just in whatever way you think you can help. Hey, take some bottles of water, to a picket line if you can. So whatever you feel like you can do to help, and if you're listening to a show like this, chances are you are supporting the writers and actors. If not, financially and physically, then absolutely morally, I imagine that you're supporting them. So maybe if you are able to take that little bit of an extra step to help, by all means. If you are not able to do that, then please just keep lending the moral support. Get on social media, show them that you care, and do whatever it is you think you can do in whatever capacity you can to help. Well, with all that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that page on there for just another second. thank you all for joining us for the WADcast number 144. Things didn't go exactly as planned, but things happen for a reason. I'm not talking about in the fate of the universe kind of way. I'm just kind of speaking in general terms. But we will be back next week with episode number 145. And no, we're not going to talk about what that's going to be because planning, right? So until next time, I'm Josh. That guy that was here earlier. He was Brandon. And we will be back next week with the WADcast episode 145, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. And I guess we'll see you.